Hello, this is Dr. Rosie Kuhn. I hope you can hear me. We're having a very rainy day here on Orcas Island, and so I've got my little headset in, so it sounds probably, hopefully, more like me than all the rain that's on my roof. So today I want to talk about intuition and writer's block and painter's block, creativity blocks, coaching blocks, or when you're working with a client, what happens when you don't know what to do. Hi, Rue. It's nice to see you. When I trained to be a therapist about 30 years ago, I was a lot of times stumped with my clients because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know where to go in the conversation. Hi, Angelica. Welcome. And so hi, Kim. I'll try not to say hi to you guys as I talk, but so as I was training to be a therapist, I didn't know sometimes where to go in the conversation. But as I matured and years of training, years of practice, years of working with clients, and then working with clients in coaching, there was something that happened. And actually, I also got trained. I was trained as in spiritual guidance. And the idea with spiritual guidance is there's always a third person or third being in the room. It's me, the client, and the divine. I hope you can hear me with this rain on my roof. As I was coaching, I became more clear about the fact that the divine was always with me and that the intuition was a way for me to know what to do or what to say next. Can you see that rain out there? So quite often I'd be sitting with a client, and I would have this sense of, I don't know where to go with this. And then something would sort of be like a nudge, like say this, or ask this, or think about this. And I'd go, no, it's not going to work. But I would nudge again, like, what do you think about this, or ask this question? And it's like, okay, I'd ask. And I would ask, and it would be like the right next thing to do. And so what that does, and has done over the years, is help stretch my capacity to be with, I don't know what to do. So even yesterday with a client, she's in the midst of what might be called a spiritual emergence process, or it might be called a midlife crisis. But she's in a place where she doesn't know what to do next in any moment, because every moment is painful, every moment is a struggle, and every moment contributes to exhaustion. And so there's a part of me that goes, I should have an answer for her. I should know what to tell her. I should know what to do. And all I can do is listen to that voice that says, this is a moment for her to be with, to be and be with. And what that means is there's nothing to change, nothing to make different, nothing to make it better for her. Like, this is the moment that is, and in this moment of isness, then this is a place for her to be with what is. Quite often we intellectualize and try to justify this shouldn't be the way that it is. And so what we do is we ignore that this is what is. So my client's having that challenge. I'm having that challenge because I want to make her life, I want her to feel better. I want to give her the right answers. I want to be good at what I do. And how I be good at what I do as I stretch myself to this level of wisdom is to empower her to know that this is a place to be in the being of humanness. And I hope that makes sense. And in that, there's still need to be with, and we call it sometimes the big fat be with. So she's having a lot of challenges in her life, and there's nothing that can change. There's nothing that can be different right now except to accept that in this moment, this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it can be. So for me as a coach or therapist or a practitioner of helping people, sometimes it's just a matter of stretching myself to be comfortable. Wow, we just had thunder. For those of you who are at Orcas, that's a pretty rare occasion. So stretching myself to to allow a person to be in their process, the process of being who they are in the circumstances. That's what is. And to allow and support people to be there is probably the best gift I can give them, as opposed to telling them they're wrong or they're bad or there's another place to be or another way to do things. It's like none of that is an option for her, and none of that is what is. So in terms of coaching, that's what's showing up this week, is that place. But also in terms of my painting, I worked this weekend on a painting. I love that painting, and it was so fun. And when I was done, I was exhausted. And quite often when I'm done with one painting, I'm ready for another painting, and nothing showed up. And in fact, I was so exhausted, I haven't wanted to paint. I haven't wanted to do anything. And it showed up that was Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had no energy to do anything. And that place of, in a sense, writer's block, because my writing isn't happening. My coaching, like I said, is a little bit challenged. Like, what do I do, or how do I do it? And podcasts, what podcast should I do? How do I do it? All of those things kind of got blocked. And when I think of it, or most of us say, another thunder, it's pretty cool. When we think about writer's block, a lot of times I believe it happens because we're not listening to our intuition. We're not listening to a spark that shows up that says, like I said with the coaching, lean into this, try that. What do you think of this? And it stretches us. And sometimes that stretch is a little uncomfortable. Generally, anytime we stretch our comfort zone, lean into something a little bit challenging, it's uncomfortable, and it's sometimes disorienting, and it sometimes creates new ideas or perceptions or thoughts we never thought we had, or that were available to us. So in writing, in painting, in your work life, there's these places where it feels like nothing's showing up, and all of a sudden something will show up. So another element of this for me is that I was tired after the weekend. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, well, every day this week, I've ended up taking a nap. And if you're exhausted and if you need to rest, that's a really good thing to do. And it's a really good thing to do to allow our brains to re-energize, to get recreated. And so that rest is really, really important. And if we give ourselves that space opens up and allows us some creative spark to show up. So where on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had nothing. Thursday morning, I woke up and I was in my mind said, okay, let's do it. I have a presentation that I'm doing for the ASSIST conference. I've mentioned in my notes. The ASSIST conference is about the spiritually transformative experiences, and I train people to work with people who've had experiences such as near-death experiences. So I woke up Thursday morning going, okay, it's time. Let's get that PowerPoint presentation done. And I could hardly get my coffee made, the dog outside, all of those things before this thing just wanted to get done so quickly, just inspired, just out. And that's the delight for me of allowing intuition, allowing the flow, allowing that divine wisdom that is always with us to support and empower us to just shift a little bit. Be uncomfortable when we're incubating, when something might be working on us, but we don't know what that is. And so we can do all of that, we can be, and it's sometimes frustrating, it's sometimes unnerving, it's sometimes like, I got to get this done and nothing's happening. But something will happen on the right timing. Call it divine timing, divine order. And it's a beautiful thing when we can live in that as opposed to fight it and struggle it. Our American way is to push and be productive and get things done on time and that kind of trajectory. And my practice in all of the things I do, whether it's writing, coaching, painting, podcasts, I do it as I'm inspired to do it. And with that, it sounds, and I always feel like I'm not getting anything done. But the fact is, I write more, I'm more creative, I do more paintings, and I've got 13 books I've written. Like, For somebody who feels like I'm not getting anything done, a lot is getting done because I'm following my intuition. I'm following that divine spark. So today I just want you to be curious about where you resist, perhaps, where you feel blocked, where you're not allowing the flow. Just, it doesn't have to be on the timing that you think it should get done. It's like, some people say, I'm gonna just sit down and I'm gonna write my book. And it's like, it generally doesn't, my experience, it doesn't happen that way very often. But when it does, it's an awesome thing. But we're willing to follow our intuition, follow that whatever. It doesn't make sense, but follow it, see where it goes. It's really fun. It's really fun. All right, I think that's probably enough for you guys today. Really appreciate you showing up. It makes me happy. And if you have any questions or comments or something you'd like me to share, just let me know. I also, in the comments, I have the podcast, Aging Like a Guru, and that is at aginglikeaguru.podbean.com. You're welcome to join me there. And my website, theparadigmshifts.com. And so let me know. All right. Thanks very much. Bye for now.